Okay. So starting with starting with Imad. Okay. Starting with you, Imad.
An aircraft heads in a direction at an angle theta east of north with a horizontal velocity relative to the air of 800 kilometers per hour. The wind blows with a horizontal velocity of 200 kilometers per hour from east to west as shown. The resultant velocity of the aircraft is in a direction due north. What is angle theta and what is the magnitude of the resultant velocity?
Mm-hmm. So क्या करेंगे कुछ आइडिया?
सर जी बस 2 मिनट
अच्छा look, we have these three vectors. बताना है bro, solve नहीं करना है भाई. You just need to
ओके
tell me,
ओके
okay? You don't need to solve. I'll solve. So this is first vector, 800, and this is the other vector, 200. Okay?
यस
And they're saying the resultant would be in this direction. So, like to find the resultant, you can just draw the head to tail rule, right? This is the,
सर yeah, the 200 on top of the 800 sorry
yes. So it looks like this. And so now in this case, this is a right angle triangle. This looks like the right angle triangle with a resultant pointing in the north direction. Okay, so that's why. So it is 800 and 200. So they're asking this angle. Okay, so if we use 200 squared. Acha, I'm finding the the hypotenuse. No, the perpendicular length, right? So using Pythagoras theorem, so 800 equals to 200 plus this resultant squared. So that would be 800 squared minus 200 squared and under root. So what will you get?
sir 774.6
770. Okay, fine. This is the resultant. Okay. Now, if we work out for angle, so angle would be sine theta equals to 8, sorry, 200, 200, ये 2 divided by 8 कर लेते हैं because zeros and zeros वो they'll cancel out, okay? So sine inverse 2 over 8. How much?
sir 14
14. So that would be A, right?
a
Perfect. Okay, आ
सर एक
जाओ.
क्वेश्चन है।
बोलो बोलो.
सर आपने जो ड्रॉ किया है कि 800 अपना ये जो आपने मतलब कि बेसिकली वेक्टर्स का अलहदा से ड्रॉ किया है,
ये
उसके
ऊपर वाला.
मुताबिक जो नॉर्थ की है वो ज़्यादा ऊपर है। तो उस
हम्म.
तरह अगर उसके मुताबिक करें तो जो रिजल्टेंट वेक्टर आ रहा है वो तो फिर अपना स्लोप ऊपर करते हुए नहीं जाएगा। आपने उसको सीधी हॉरिजॉन्टल बना दिया है क्योंकि आपने उसको किया था।
देखो, अब यहाँ पे अब यहाँ पे आपने कोई लॉजिक नहीं लगानी. समझ रहे हो? क्योंकि उसने सारी की सारी चीजें क्वेश्चन के अंदर मेंशन की हुई है, राइट? लुक, दे मेंशन अ वेक्टर इन horizontal direction, okay, right? They also
हम्म।
mention a vector in vertical direction, exactly vertical direction, okay? So when you are drawing the vector triangle, you have to consider these two direction as they are, okay? So the east, the wind is in this direction, right? And the resultant in is in this direction, okay? And these two should be perpendicular to each other, right? Because this is in the northward and this is westward, okay? Getting? Now,
यस सर।
if you just make it bigger, then this looks like this, and that's it. Clear?
ओके सर।
बस ये हो सकता है कि अगर आप ये 800 को बड़ा बना दो, क्योंकि 200 यहाँ पे 200 और 800 तकरीबन हमने सेम बनाए हुए, मे बी आपको इस वजह से कंफ्यूजन हो रहा हो, बट इफ यू जस्ट इंक्रीज द लेंथ ऑफ 800 वेक्टर देन you'll get the correct. Okay, आ जाओ, आ जाओ कैंडी ब्रूज, ये वाला क्वेश्चन करवाओ प्लीज. दिस वन.
A tennis ball is hit so that it leaves the racket with the velocity v at the angle theta to the horizontal. The vertical component of the velocity is Vy. What is the magnitude of the horizontal component of V?
Hmm. Yes.
V cos theta.
V cos थीटा आंसर है ऐसा? एक ऑप्शन एक ऑप्शन बना दे, ई बना दे एक, और हम कह रहे थे वी कॉस थीटा, और हम कह रहे हैं, क्या बोलते
सॉरी, अच्छा वो देखा नहीं था, वी वाई नीचे लिखा हुआ है।
हो? ओके ओके, कोई और पॉसिबिलिटी? अच्छा, अगर तो if you draw a vector triangle, okay, so you'll get your answer, right? So if you try to solve this thing using vector resolution, you won't get the answer, okay? But if you try using the vector triangle, like this is the horizontal component, let's say this is a vertical, and that would be the resultant, okay? So we know the vertical component as Vy. We also know the horizontal, the resultant as V, and we are interested in this component, okay? In this component. So if you apply the Pythagoras theorem, so you'll get v squared is equals to vy squared plus this squared, which is vx squared. Okay, so if you move v by this side, so it will be v squared minus vy squared, and that is under root. So it will give you the vx squared. Okay, vx. That's it. Candy Brew, समझ रहे हो? Getting?
हाँ जी सर। वो मैंने
Perfect.
वी वाई नहीं, मुझे लगा था वी का वो कह रहे हैं।
हम्म, सही सही, ओके, आ जाओ। इरफान, योर टर्न।
Okay, a spherical object falls to the water at a constant speed. Three forces act on the object. Which diagram showing these three forces to scale is correct?
Look, they're saying constant speed. What does that mean?
It's moving at like constant speed. So
Come
like,
on, no man.
what
इक्विलिब्रियम।
do you
You have to say it is in equilibrium.
equilibrium, but it doesn't have to have another condition that fits it. Actually, wait, that's given in the question. Okay, wait, my bad.
Okay. The other condition is the turning effect, na? But here is no turning effect. Okay, it's just moving down, right? So now equilibrium means all the upward forces should be equal to all the downward forces, right? You have to consider that thing in your mind. And now, अब आप solve करो. Let's try. Let's solve it. Use arrows, the length of the arrow as a magnitude of the vector, okay? And just imagine the additions and subtractions. If you add these two vectors, so it will be much larger. Like this and this can be cancelled out, but this would be the remaining one that causes the resultant vector, okay? And this is not possible. If you consider this, then just place this on the top of the this one. So it approximately reaches the length of the vector or force acting downwards. So maybe uh, this is correct because the upward forces are balanced with the downward forces. Okay, here the two vectors are of the same size and they are smaller, so there would be resultant in the downward direction, and similarly, in this case, there would be a resultant in the downward direction. Okay, so B. Clear? Irfan, clear?
Yeah.
Perfect. Ibrahim bro, ये वाले क्वेश्चन पे आ जाओ। यस। इब्राहिम है क्या? इब्राहिम कहाँ हो?
Yes, sir.
कहाँ हो, आ जाओ। ये वाले क्वेश्चन देख लो, प्लीज रीड कर लो, थोड़ा जोर से पढ़ना।
An object is moving with an initial velocity of 4 meters per second to the right.
the velocity of the object changes so that its final velocity is 3 meters per second downwards as shown. Which arrow represents the change in velocity of the object?
Hmm. अच्छा जी. They're asking the change in velocity. Change in velocity means yes.
So final minus. Oh,
Okay, very good. So final velocity minus initial velocity. Okay, minus. So this is a case of subtracting a vector. Okay, so final velocity minus initial velocity. So you have the final velocity in this direction. Since you are subtracting, so just change the direction of initial velocity. So it will be in this direction, but initial velocity is larger than the final velocity. So your resultant velocity, your change in velocity would be in this direction. Okay, so I think B. Clear? Ibrahim, clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Imad, आ जाओ. Imad, your turn.
Forces of magnitudes 2 Newton, 4 Newton, and 7 Newton combine to produce a resultant force. The magnitude of the three forces are fixed, but the forces may act in any direction in the same place, in the same plane. What
Hmm.
is not a possible magnitude of the resultant force?
Yes.
So we eliminate A
And why?
because 0 is. So if we do, wait, what is the magnitude of the result?
They're just saying three forces, right, to produce a resultant force. Now, they're actually giving you the possibilities. So you can consider an object and apply all the forces in the same direction. So yeah, and if this is the case, then you have to add all the force. 2 plus 4, 6 plus 7, 13. So yeah, so this is a possibility. Okay. And if you apply two forces in the same direction, one opposite, let's say 2 and 4 acting in this direction, 7 acting this way, so there would be -1. Okay. This is a possibility, but not mentioned in the question. Okay. And if you apply 2 and 7 Newton this word, right? And 4 this way, so we'll get 9 minus 4, 5 Newton, right? This is also a possibility and mentioned in the question. Okay.
Won't
So
it be
sorry, won't be?
the answer be A?
Yes, because this is not the
Because
possibility.
the way, I mean, like 2, 4, and 7 won't be like cancelled out to
Yes,
become
yes,
0.
very good, very good, very good, very good. Perfect. Okay, ये बात clear?
सर रेट किस तरह बननी है?
Yes.
हाँ, एट भी बन जाएगी. है अगर
Oh, sir, it says what is not possible.
not,
Oh, okay.
and you are working for
The
possibilities.
error.
Wow.
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry.
अच्छा. So अच्छा, eight would be अच्छा, अगर हम इसको बनाए 279, let me see. ये बेसिकली ना उसके लिए हमें we have to apply it vertical or horizontal way. Okay, so if we say 4 and 2 यहाँ लगाए and 7 यहाँ पे लगाए, so maybe will that give you 6 squared plus 7 squared is 9.2, and if we shift 7 here and 4 here, then maybe 7 square, 9 square actually, 9 square plus 4 square under root. No, it's getting 9.8. पता नहीं कैसे इसकी क्या क्या बनाए इसको. अगर हम रिजल्टेंट इसका बनाएंगे, हम्म, चलो एक ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में अगर लगाए लाइक दिस, सो दिस कुड बी द पॉसिबिलिटी. सो 5 and 4, सो इस केस के अंदर हमारे पास विल हैव डाउन 5 न्यूटन एक्टिंग डाउनवर्ड and 4 acting up rightward. So that gives me under root. No, this is not possible if we apply 4 here and 7 there. So that would just be 7 squared plus 2 squared. So it is 7.2 in this case. And if we 8 means 64 लाना है 64 के
सर
लिए
8 कंपोनेंट्स बना के तो नहीं आएगा? जैसे अगर 7 को एग्जैक्टली हम हॉरिजॉन्टल ना रखें या थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे कर लें।
मे बी पॉसिबल, मे बी लाइक ये फोर्सेस को आपने किसी भी डायरेक्शन में आप रख लो कि वो आपके पास जो है ना इस तरह से हो, राइट। लेकिन जीरो नहीं आ रहा होगा किसी भी केस के अंदर, ओके। क्योंकि जीरो इसलिए नहीं आ रहा होगा क्योंकि रिजल्टेंट फोर्स आपके पास जो है ना कुछ आ रही है। अगर आप ये कहोगे कि दैट वोंट गिव द रिजल्टेंट फोर्स, तो फिर जो है ना मतलब ये वाला केस जो होगा, देन दिस केस वुड बी द इक्विलिब्रियम सिनेरियो, राइट। और ये इक्विलिब्रियम की बात ही नहीं कर रहा, राइट। These all the cases are apart from the equilibrium, okay? Getting?
यस सर।
Perfect. Okay, so the change in momentum, they're asking the change in momentum. We did the similar question here, the change in velocity. So you just need to find the momentum first. They give you the velocities and the masses. So you just need to multiply the masses and the velocity. So you'll get the momentum. Then just do the change in momentum, final minus initial. So this is after the collision, which is final. Before the collision mean initial, and then apply the Pythagoras theorem and solve it. Okay. Okay. Let's move to this one. Okay. कैंडी ब्रो आपकी बारी है, आ जाओ।
An aircraft travels along the horizontal path. Two of the forces that act horizontal on the aircraft are the thrust force of the engine and the force due to the wind. The vector diagram of these forces are shown. Which vector represents the resultant horizontal force acting on the aircraft due to the two forces? C.
सी। और आपने सॉल्व किया यूजिंग वेक्टर ट्राइंगल। इफ यू ड्रू दिस, इट विल बी जस्ट लाइक दिस, ओके। फाइन, आ जाओ इरफान, योर टर्न।
Okay. The diagram shows two coplanar forces P and Q drawn to scale. Force R is given by R is equal to Q minus P. Which diagram represents R?
ओके, कोप्लेनर, अच्छा लुक, they're using the word coplanar. Coplanar mean the two forces acting on the same plane, okay? It's just the sake of you can say the assumption, right? It won't affect your calculation for now, but if you study the vector in your university level, then it affects, okay? So where you have to consider the coplanar and non-coplanar forces or vectors, okay? Fair. Okay. So what will you do?
It's A.
It's
Basically, if like P
uh
to Q, it's the head to tail method, right? So
okay.
basically P, yeah, okay, P,
You're doing
Q.
this,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
but bro, they're saying P minus Q. Minus mean you have to change the direction of P first, okay? So just draw the negative P first. This is the negative P. Now apply the head to tail rule. So the head to tail rule would be like this. They're of the same size or approximately their same size, okay? So like this, okay?
Okay.
एक
Yeah.
मिनट अगर हम right, so Q is in this direction and P is in this direction. So resultant would be from this to this direction, not the upward, okay? This, okay? Clear?
Yeah.
आ जाओ। Okay, so Ibrahim, your turn. इब्राहिम देर देर से आ रहे हो, कहाँ लगे हुए हो?
An airplane is moving at a constant speed in a straight line at an angle theta to the horizontal. Four forces act on the airplane: thrust force, weight, lift force and resistive force. Which two equations must be correct?
Okay, so this is the case where you have to. Acha, they're saying constant speed. Constant speed mean? Yes, Ibrahim, constant speed का क्या मतलब?
It doesn't change.
अबे ब्रो इक्विलिब्रियम बोलना है. अबे वो तो मेरे को भी पता है. इट डजंट चेंज. अंग्रेजी तो मेरे को भी आती है यार. बट मतलब इससे आपको जो फिजिक्स पता चलेगी ना, वो फिजिक्स को डिकोड करना है आपने. ओके. So constant speed means equilibrium, right? A straight line. This means no direction change. And okay, so these are the forces. Okay. So equilibrium means like the forward forces should be equal to the backward forces. Okay. And the upward forces and the downward forces should be equal. Okay. So if we consider now, let's see the options. L is equals to W cos theta, W sin theta, W cos theta. Okay, so this means they're resolving this force. Means they are considering this as a plane. Okay, this as a plane. Clear? They are not considering this plane. Okay, they are considering the plane, not the aeroplane. Okay, the plane, the x-axis and the y-axis. I am talking about the plane x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so this is a plane, and if you have this angle theta, and if you do some mathematics, so you'll get this angle as theta as well. Okay. So in this case, if you resolve this w, so it will be w cos theta and W sine theta. W sine theta. These are the two vectors. Okay, now you can equate the vertically upward and downward together because they're in equilibrium. So L should be equal to W cos theta, right? And T should be equal to, T is the forward force, so it should be balances with R plus W sine theta as it is also in the opposite direction. अब देख लो यहाँ पे कौन सा आंसर बन रहा है. L cos theta, L equals to W cos theta, W cos theta, this one, A, right? Perfect. Ibrahim समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And fine. Let's do
सर एल वाले पे आपने साइन को मिक्स नहीं कर दिया?
किसमें
ये डब्ल्यू कॉस थीटा और डब्ल्यू साइन थीटा को मिक्स नहीं कर दिया?
यानी आप कह रहे हो कि साइन थीटा कॉस थीटा के बजाय लिख दिया, कॉस साइन के बजाय, ऐसा बोल रहे हो? है ब्रो?
हाँ जी, जो मतलब
क्या मतलब, मैं समझा नहीं आप क्या कहना चाह रहे हो. देखो ना, आपके पास फोर्स यू है, आपके पास ये दो कंपोनेंट बन रहे हैं इसके. ओके. ये एंगल है, सही है. तो एंगल के साथ वाला जो होता है वो कॉस होता है, राइट. और नीचे वाला जो होता है, ऑपोजिट जो होता है, वो साइन होता है. करेक्ट. अब अगर मार्क कर रहे हो, बोल, आवाज ही नहीं आ रही तुम्हारी. अगर कुछ बोल रहे हो तो मुझे पता थोड़ी चल रहा है.
नहीं सर, वो मैं क्या कहता है, एंगल वो आदत थी ना, वो 90 के साथ ही हो, वो एंगल ऊपर बना हुआ
वो एंगल यहाँ पे बना हुआ है, सही है. सो अगर आप थोड़ी सी मैथ्स लगाओगे ना यहाँ पे, तो ये वाला जो एंगल थीटा है ना, दिस एंगल थीटा विल बी प्रूवन हेयर. ये वाला यहाँ पे आएगा. ओके. सो एनी इंक्लाइन प्लेन, जब भी कोई भी वेक्टर के क्वेश्चन में अगर इंक्लाइन प्लेन आ रहा है लाइक दिस, सो एंड the weight always act this way. Okay, so this angle theta will always be this angle theta. Okay, ये कैसे होगा, I'll explain in the forces chapter. Okay, वो वहां पे आएगा. Clear?
है. ओके सर.
Okay, so this is the one that we did. This is also easy. Okay, let's, ये आखिरी कर लेते हैं. इमाद, your turn. Last one.
An object is held in equilibrium by three forces. The forces all act in the same place. The diagram shows two of the forces that act on the object. The third force is missing from the diagram. What is the third force?
Hmm. Yes, क्या बोलोगे?
Sir, equilibrium means like upward force is equals to downward force. So
Uh-huh. अच्छा, look, the upward force equals to downward force and leftward equals to rightward work for the vector resolution method, okay? And their answers
sir, is
shows
the
that
moment. Is
what?
this the moment one?
No, मोमेंट इसमें नहीं
Uh,
आएगा कभी भी ब्रो. देखो, इसमें इसमें सिर्फ you have to consider the vector resolution, sorry, the vector triangle, okay? So if you draw the vector triangle, so 43 and this 17, okay? So your resultant would be downward, okay? So this one, what do you say?
जी
Because
sir.
because um सही है. So ये B बन रहा है. The rest of the answers are sorry, okay, 36. Since it is in equilibrium, so the direction should not be upward. It should be downward to form a closed triangle for equilibrium, right? तो ये बन जाएगा. Clear? Clear, clear, clear.
Yes sir.
Perfect. चलो बस. So आज की क्लास यहीं तक करते हैं. Inshallah, in the next class we'll discuss some more question of P1 and P2 as well, and then I'll give this worksheet as homework for the next week. Okay. So that's it for today's class. Inshallah, we'll meet you guys tomorrow. Okay. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Yes.
Allah
अल्लाह
Hafiz.
हाफ़िज़.
Allah Hafiz.